Hey everyone, we are Portis, and we believe that using dApps today is far too complicated for the average person. We want to fix that. So first, a little bit about us. I'm Itay, and I'm the CTO of Portis.
Hi everyone, I'm Tom, and I'm the CEO of Portis. I met Itay at Watchdogs, an Israeli cybersecurity company where we both worked on the same team. So before we dive into explaining what Portis is, I'd like to tell the story of how it was born. So Itay and I used to organize meetups at our workplace. And a common issue we ran into is that people click attend but don't show up. So when Facebook organized a hackathon last summer, of course we decided to create a dApp to tackle this problem. The idea was that an event organizer can create a deposit box where users can create a deposit box using an Ethereum smart contract. People who want to attend have to place a collateral of Ethereum into that contract. If they show up, the event organizer scans their phone and they get their Ethereum back. Wait, I think I'm hiding the screen.
Yeah, go over there.
And if they don't, then all the funds of the event no-shows go back into the charity address or open source organization wallet address declared in advance in the smart contract. So people really liked the idea, and we even ended up winning first place. But when people approached us wanting to use a tender for their events in the real world, we witnessed firsthand the problem of using dApps today. It's far too complicated for the average user. And then the way the requirement is simply too high for them. So we want to fix that.
Mm-hmm.
So you end up with stuff like this. And right now, that is a big problem. You're asking users to follow a long list of instructions, and you're asking them to install something, and it's just far too complicated. And good user experience is kind of like telling a joke. If you have to explain it, then that means it's not very good.
Users will not accept an experience which isn't as good as what they're already used to. Portis is a platform for making dApps accessible for the average user. We offer an SDK. Once integrated, the users will get an experience which they're already familiar with from regular web apps.
So how do we achieve this? So first and foremost, we're focusing on giving user an experience which is as easy to use as possible. We don't ask them to go install some third-party application or plugin just so they can use your dApp. We don't throw a lot of technical terms at them like hex values and private keys. And we also don't ask them to follow such a long list of instructions like we saw before, just so they can even start using your dApp. Keep it simple, because users are lazy. In addition, Portis is 100% JavaScript, which means that if a device has a browser, then it will be able to communicate with Ethereum smart contracts. In addition, users will enjoy a consistent user experience across all of their devices. And of course, as a developer, that means write once, run everywhere. So imagine right now that you had to have different Gmail accounts, one on your phone, another on your desktop, a third one on your work computer. Sounds kind of silly, right? Well, basically, that's the situation you have right now with the existing solutions. And sure, you can take your wallet and manually import it everywhere. But even if you're a technical person, that is somewhat intimidating. And still, it's just not a very convenient way of doing things. I mean, it's 2018, and everybody is used to using cloud solutions. So why not give users what they already know and love? Portis offers a cloud-based service, meaning the users will be able to access the same wallet across all of their devices.
Usability doesn't have to come at the expense of security. We use end-to-end encryption, which means our users encrypt all data client-side with a secret which never reaches our servers. So if our servers were somehow hacked, the data will be useless for the hackers. And of course, Portis is completely Web3.js compliant. So for the developers, the integration is a breeze. No rewrite necessary.
So how does the Portis experience look for the end user? So here we have the attender application. We have an event organizer who wants to create a deposit box for his event. So he inputs the charity address and the deposit amount. When he clicks on create, that is the moment where he will actually need to sign and send a transaction to the Ethereum network. At this moment, the Portis window will pop up, showing him a familiar sign-in page and confirmation screen. He didn't need to install anything or understand the underlying mechanism of the Ethereum blockchain. All he did was sign in and hit confirm.
While it's true that purchasing Ether is getting easier, it's still a somewhat complicated process. We believe it's the little things that can make a big difference for the average user, like allowing them to purchase Ether right through the wallet, or saving them the trouble of copy-pasting their wallet address to the exchange where they make the actual purchase. It might sound trivial for a technical person, but if you are not, the fear is real. UX in the age of dApps is a fascinating topic, and we would love to continue this discussion with you. So please, if you have any thoughts, we would be happy to read them. Thank you for listening, and happy coding.